I'm actually like turbo tapped out when it comes to pop culture, and like I really don't read anything about any celebrity. I don't read any like articles about them, any interviews that they've done. I really only like see any, I guess, celebrity interviews when I watch like the last meals from Mythical Kitchen or like Hot Ones. Those are kind of the only two versions of interviews that I actually watch in my day-to-day life of celebrities. And so when I see a lot of people beefing and like getting mad about what a certain celebrity said in an interview, I always get kind of interested about like one, why do they care so much about the celebrity? And two, what are they getting mad about? And recently, I saw a lot of people getting mad at Millie Alcock, the actress for Supergirl, and I was entirely curious about what was going on and what was causing people to get mad at her. Now, I'd assume very clearly, probably an idea for why people are mad at Millie Alcock, and that's just because she's Supergirl, and that's kind of an issue that a lot of people have. But I was like kind of confused on why this came in such a delayed manner. You know, I feel like a lot of people would have been getting pissy about Supergirl existing when it was announced and not now, like a month or so from whenever the movie comes out or whenever it comes out. I have legitimately no idea. But I think I found the reason why, and like think I found like the reason for why there are so many like chuds on the internet getting mad at her specifically. And it's not even from something she's done recently. It's from an interview that she did. I don't even know when, about 3 months ago. And it's just very interesting because, like, the quote that she has that she said that a lot of people are getting mad at is very not wrong. And a lot of people are getting mad at her. So I guess the source for all of the hate that Millie Alcock is getting is from this Vanity Fair interview that she did. Basically, just talking about her time at Game of Thrones when she was acting in Game of Thrones and just backlash that she got from the fans of Game of Thrones. Where I guess they're talking about being a superhero and just playing Supergirl. And the interviewer kind of just leads with the question saying, has the famously fickle Game of Thrones fandom prepared Alcock for the inevitable backlash she'll face? And then she kind of responds to this question, basically saying, it definitely made me aware that simply existing as a woman in that space is something that people comment on. We have become very comfortable with having this weird ownership of women's bodies. I can't really stop them. I can only be myself. You know, kind of setting Millie Alcock up by the interviewer because calling famously fickle Game of Thrones fans is definitely not going to get anyone mad. But like, she's not wrong, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's not like she's talking out of her ass. People kind of just comment on women in like weird ways. They comment on like her looks and all that stuff like that. And I feel like a way that men really don't. And sure, they talk about how hot male actors are, but like when a man isn't, you know, the best looking person, it's not like they call him like ugly or some shit. It's not like it's like a big talk of the town that a less than 10 out of 10 man is in an acting role. But if it's like a woman on the screen, then it becomes a big issue if she's not like the most conventionally attractive person of all time. And even then, I'm not even saying like Millie Alcock's unattractive because like she isn't unattractive. I think it's just like she's kind of make the point where like it seems that like people have a intense scrutiny of the way women look when it comes to like acting and being in film or shows or stuff like that. But I guess this interview quote from 3 or 4 months ago kind of caused a lot of people to get mad. I guess some people have started like to post about her being Supergirl. And these posts kind of look like this. Now, as you can see, very just bad faith, just kind of, you know, it's like the go back to the kitchen humor. It's just kind of weird that this is something that you're, I guess, looking at or like even like thinking about because I like what did she possibly could have done in the movie? I guess it comes out also, by the way, we've got an update. It comes out this Friday. Important. That's probably the most important thing we'll see today. But yeah, it's just like it's kind of weird how they're just like randomly coming out here like this, and I think it's only specifically because of this single quote from an interview that she gave. Because I've not seen anything else that would even possibly warrant her to get this type of hate. And obviously, it's my fault for thinking that a guy whose name is Diversity in Gaming with an AI generated profile picture of a dude who I'd assume he would label as a Chad would have any like sort of worthwhile takes on the internet. And like you wouldn't believe this. This dude also posted another tweet about Millie Alcock as Supergirl. And it's just kind of the same exact vibe where she's like also kind of just in like acting like, oh, she's in the kitchen. She's got an apron on. She's going to cook for us or whatever. And it's just like genuine loser behavior. And like he's getting blown the shit for it. And like, obviously I don't really know why I'm wasting my time on a guy like this on the internet. There's another one like this where it's just like commenting on the way that she has her uniform. Like, you know, what we want, I guess, is just like a very revealing outfit where you're watching it just to look at the woman and not the actual plot of the show. And then what we got is like a normal superhero clothing design, like how it's actually supposed to be dressed and like something that no rational human being would be mad about. And like they got ratio of the shit also in the comments, like, and I think the number one comment has like a good take on it, where it's just like, bro wants to watch porn in the theaters. Why is it that this is the suit that you want, not like the one that's actually like designed well? And, like, because she kinda talked about having, like, people having weird possessive behaviors over women's bodies, people are gonna, like, start calling her ugly. It's the same guy, like, I didn't even realize it's the same dude, where he just, like, takes, like, the worst type of, the worst angle from the entire movie and says, like, "Look at how ugly she is. Wow, absolutely terrible." When, like, what prompted you to say this, man? What prompted you to do this? I guess other than being, like, Twitter blue and your entire existence just involves around people getting mad at you, so you get, like, a $50 check every month in the mail from Elon Musk, which I guess cool. If that's your life, man, you can be a loser. And also people are, like, discovering these types of, YouTube videos that people are making, where it's just like, people are saying that, like, it's bad for Millie Alcock for attacking men and just, like, saying that, men have this, like, weird possession of women's bodies. Even though in the quote that a lot of people are getting mad at, she didn't even mention men at all. She just said, like, people in general have this weird obsession. Not once did she say men. And the fact that people are, like, then attributing this quote to her attacking men specifically should say more about, like, the way men treat women in the industry than more than anything. And I'm not trying to be, like, a white knight here or anything like that. Well, it makes you do this type of word association, then, like, it should say something about the way you view women in the space. It is kind of an interesting thing that you do. And, like, another funny thing too about this thumbnail that people pointed out is that, like, she not once said this quote right here. It's just, like, falsely attributing a quote to her for no reason. But this is the type of content that people are putting out in response to it. And I think it's just kind of, like, interesting how so many people got mad at, like, Millie Alcock's take on, like, existing as a woman in the space and, like, her experience of just, like, toxic fans and just being really weird about the way she looks, like, who she is as a person. And obviously, because of that, the worst amount of people got mad about it, and it's not surprising that people are just, like, freaking out and thinking that it's a personal attack on them. But not once did she mention, like, the specific group that have this kind of, like, weird take. I think it's just interesting though, and it might just be because the movie's back in the cycle of existing in people's minds because it comes out this week. I thought it was just kind of interesting that a lot of people are getting mad at it now and not when the quote came out. Maybe people did, and once again, I'm tapped out from pop culture. But this weird resurgence of just, like, saying, "Oh, go back to the kitchen, haha," it's kind of odd. And it's just something I wanted to note on the internet because why not? I'm allowed to do it, and I'm allowed to have my own take. But that's really all I want to talk about for today. Hope you enjoyed this wonderful experience of talking about the same issue over and over again. Like I'm a broken record talking about the same thing. Who cares? Who cares? Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.